Hello, my friends. My name is Mac. Welcome back to the Rad Venturer channel, where we talk about e-bikes and everything rad, like adventures, rad ventures. Today, we're talking about Rad Power Bikes. That's right. Big news about them batteries going boom, exploding, catching fire, causing damage, lots of damage. What does the news have to say about this? Let's see.
The federal agency that issues recalls stopped just short of issuing one for a popular bike battery. But the Consumer Product Safety Commission said Monday consumers should stop using lithium-ion batteries for Rad Power Bikes, specifically with two model numbers, RP1304 and HLRP S1304. Those model batteries sold on 9 different Rad Power Bike models, including the RadRunner Plus. The agency said the batteries can unexpectedly ignite and explode, citing 31 reports of fires. Rad Power Bikes are a popular choice for a lot of consumers.
Wow, that's bad, right? That's really bad. I have 17 of those things in my fleet. I've been using them for years. And I think about counting, carry the 1, 2, 10 of them are Rad Expands 5s that probably have these batteries. Uh-oh. Bad news for me. Oof.
Because they're more affordable than other models. Denver's Climate Office tells us 3,600 of the nearly 11,000 e-bike rebates they've issued so far have been spent on Rad bikes, about 35%. About 600 people who got state rebates chose Rad. In a statement on its website, Rad Power Bikes downplayed the fire incidents, calling them a fraction of 1% of the actual batteries on the market. Rad said that they've independently tested the batteries both before they went to market and again during this CPSC investigation, and those tests, quote, confirmed compliance with the highest industry standards.
Which is actually true. If you look it up, Rad Power Bikes have one of the highest testing standards for e-bike batteries today. Compared to other companies, I think it's going to be hard to say that they did not test their batteries properly, which obviously there is a problem being reported. Now, the news, 9 News is saying that they're downplaying it, which, I don't know if that's true or not. It sounds like they made an official statement. Let's see what that official statement says. Rad Power Bikes response to CPSC safety statement. I'm going to move my face over here. Okay. It says they have a long documented track of building safe, reliable e-bikes that meet or exceed rigorous safety standards. The reputable independent third-party labs tested Rad batteries, both as part of product testing and the CPSC investigation. It also understands the battery itself was not so independently examined per industry accepted test standards. CPSC did not test the batteries according to what Rad Power Bike has to say. They're saying context matters. The incident rate associated with the batteries in the CPSC's notice is a fraction of 1%. While that number is low, it's one too many. Blah, blah, blah. It's understood that all lithium-ion batteries are at risk. Rad hoped this process would be an opportunity to work with the agency, get some cooperation. They offered multiple good faith solutions, including offering consumers an opportunity to upgrade. But it sounds like CPSC is not buying anything that the Rad people are saying, and the Rad people are not buying what the CPSC has been warning. What did they warn? Well, they warned that exactly what the news said. This is their official warning to stop you. Wow. Causes death. Oh, you're gonna die if you use this battery. The warning was as of November 24th, 2025. I'm making this video as of December 1st, as you can see right here in my bottom corner, which you'll probably watch this video a little bit later in the future. But as of November 24th, 2025, this warning went out. And if you've been watching and following Rad Power Bike news, November 10, they put out some news saying that they're going out of business possibly in January if they can't get an investor. And then this comes out later. Weird, right? Well, here's what I did. I went and Googled, is the CPSC reliable? And here's what we came back with. And you could do this yourself if you don't believe me. But it says, well, they've had some challenges and criticisms. Despite its successes, the CPSC is subject to scrutiny and faces limitations, resource constraints. Just this year, didn't we have like a huge government shutdown? I think the CPSC would probably be heavily affected, which they are. They have voluntary standards. They primarily rely on voluntary recalls developed in cooperation with manufacturers. It could be a lengthy process to issue and enforce mandatory standards or bans if a voluntary agreement is not met. Information sharing hurdles. Certain legal restrictions, such as confidentiality, can sometimes limit CPSC's abilities to share information. Speed of response. Addressing new or emerging risks can take a long time, sometimes years, due to need to research hazards and develop new testing standards or approaches. In summary, CPSC is legitimate, but they're facing challenges and criticisms because, well, they got resource constraints, and that makes sense. We just had a big government shutdown. Don't you think that they would have been affected? If they were affected, how could they have pushed out this investigation so fast? We got to stop and answer that question, my friends. I tried asking that a question to my AI friends here to aggregate data for me, and it's like, nah, 2020 is when it started. That can't be. It has to have started sooner. But I was like, dude, that was wrong, right? Here, let me boom, move me over here. I said, yo, dude, that was wrong. When did it really start? Because I asked AI and it told me 2025. Right there. But I was like, nah, dude, that's wrong. When did it really begin? And it's like, we don't know. They don't know. So again, back to this. What are they really trying to tell us here?
Because it is such a new and emerging issue. Our data collection has just begun.
Selena Silva, a risk reduction specialist for South Metro Fire, couldn't speak to the Rad battery specifically, but said fire departments are seeing more fires sparked by all kinds of lithium-ion batteries, like this scooter from a fire in September.
They store a lot of energy in a small, compact area. Once these batteries are compromised, the type of off-gassing that they do, the type of other chemical components that they produce or are capable of producing is incredibly toxic.
She said consumers should verify that anything they buy with a lithium-ion battery is lab-tested and certified.
We want to discard batteries appropriately as soon as they show any type of wear or tear. We also want to be conscious and aware if there's any type of foul smell or change in color or swelling of that battery.
This is the Wonder Oven Pro from our place. Our next generation.
That was it. That was all they had to offer us. And like I said, man, when they were telling us that these batteries are bad or whatever, and CPSC is recalling them, that's all the news said. It didn't say anything about Rad trying to stand up for themselves, saying, yo, man, are you sure you even tested those things? How could you have done full immersive tests with a government shutdown? You're already lacking resources. Something is amiss. Something is foul. And, I've been using these Rad Power Bikes for years. Never had any problems. I know a lot of people that's been using these Rad Power Bikes for years. Never had any problems. I also know a lot of people who had batteries go on fire. Not necessarily Rad Power Bike related. So the way I see it, someone's trying to cause some irreparable damage to Rad Power Bikes, trying to drop that nail in their coffin for good. I don't know who. I don't know why. I'm going to go do a little more digging. If I find more, I will let you all know. My name is Mac with the Rad Venturers. Y'all stay rad. Cheers.